When Daniel first met Sophia, he was sleeping in the back room of a failing restaurant, dreaming of becoming a famous chef. Sophia was the plus-size baker everyone underestimated. She worked 12-hour shifts, creating cakes and pastries that made customers come back every morning. But more importantly, she believed in Daniel when nobody else did. She gave him money to buy his first professional equipment. She introduced him to suppliers. She tested his recipes late into the night and even used her small bakery savings to help him rent a kitchen. Daniel promised her that when he became successful, she would always be beside him. Years later, Daniel had everything. His restaurant had become one of the most fashionable places in the city. Television crews followed him. Magazine covers displayed his face. Wealthy investors wanted his signature. And Sophia? She was still working quietly in the bakery, believing the man she loved had simply become busy. Then one evening, Daniel walked into the bakery wearing an expensive suit. Sophia smiled when she saw him. She thought he had come to surprise her. Instead, he placed an envelope on the counter. "I think we should end this," he said coldly. Her smile disappeared. Daniel told her he was marrying someone more suitable for his new life, someone elegant, wealthy, and connected. He said Sophia had been good for him back then, but he no longer wanted people associating his success with a bakery worker. The words destroyed her. "You wouldn't have this career without me," Sophia whispered. Daniel laughed. "I built everything myself." Then he walked away. Sophia cried that night, but she didn't call him. She simply returned to work the next morning. Months passed. Daniel's new fiancée organized a lavish engagement party at his restaurant. Influential businessmen, celebrities, and politicians attended. Among them was a mysterious man in a black suit. Everyone knew him as Victor Moretti, a powerful businessman rumored to control half the city's underground trade. Daniel approached him nervously. "Mr. Moretti, it's an honor." Victor stared at him. "I've heard your story." Daniel smiled proudly. "I worked very hard for everything." Victor's expression hardened. "No, you took everything from someone else." The room became silent. Daniel's face went pale. Victor placed a thick folder on the table. Inside were bank records, supplier contracts, emails, and photographs. Every major step in Daniel's career had been supported by Sophia. The first equipment purchase had been paid for by her. The restaurant lease had been secured using her savings. The recipes Daniel had claimed as his own had been developed with her handwritten notes. Even the investors had originally been introduced through one of Sophia's longtime customers. But Victor wasn't finished. He revealed that Daniel had secretly transferred ownership of several profitable recipes and business assets into companies controlled by himself, deliberately cutting Sophia out. Daniel began sweating. "Why do you care about her?" Victor leaned closer. "Because years ago, Sophia helped my mother when she was sick. She never asked for money, never asked for recognition. She simply helped." He pushed the folder toward Daniel. "And I never forget a debt." The next morning, Daniel's investors withdrew their support. His restaurant was investigated for fraudulent financial claims and stolen intellectual property. The glamorous life he had built collapsed within weeks. Meanwhile, Victor visited Sophia's bakery. She expected him to demand something. Instead, he placed a contract on her counter. "I want to invest in you," he said. Sophia shook her head. "I don't need revenge." "I didn't come to offer revenge," Victor replied. "I came to offer you what you should have had from the beginning, a chance to build something that belongs entirely to you." With Victor's investment and Sophia's talent, the tiny bakery became a thriving business. Within a year, she opened 3 locations and became known across the city for her extraordinary desserts. One rainy evening, Daniel appeared outside her newest shop. He looked nothing like the confident man who had once walked away. "I was wrong," he said. Sophia looked at him quietly. "You didn't just leave me, Daniel. You tried to erase me." He lowered his eyes. "I know." She handed him a small box containing 1 cupcake. "For old time's sake." He stared at it. "Does this mean you forgive me?" Sophia smiled gently. "It means I've forgiven myself for believing your success was more important than my worth." Then she closed the door. Across the street, Victor waited beside his car. Sophia walked toward him. "You didn't have to do all that," she said. Victor smiled. Yes, I did. Why? Because sometimes the person everyone underestimates is the person who deserves the biggest chance. Sophia looked back at her glowing bakery. For the first time, she wasn't standing behind someone else's dream. She was standing inside her own. And Daniel finally learned the truth he had been too arrogant to understand. You can steal someone's ideas, take their money, and claim their achievements, but you can never steal the talent, courage, and heart that created them.